So there was a fire a few days ago down at Pacific Palisades, down that way. And now there's another fire. I forget what the name of it is.
It's called the Tick Fire. It's in Santa Clarita.
Santa Clarita. I don't know where that is. It's somewhere
north
over there, since that way is the sea.
In the canyons.
But I can smell the fire. You know, the other day, a few weeks ago, I don't know what fire it was, where it was, but even in the corridor of our building, you could like thickly smell the fire, as if someone had a bonfire like outside or something. But somehow it came in. It's unusual. It's a new experience.
The ocean really carries, like the wind of the ocean really carries the smells, I guess.
We don't really have, we don't experience this in Europe. Like when it's really hot, old people die. But you don't have fires, so it's like that's what happens because there's just, I don't know, there's just not enough help because people get dehydrated and they.
Your delivery is so ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be trivial about it, but it's just the way I talk. Yeah. 422 days since we could draw on a map. By the way, that it has changed, which is why I'm noting that right now. But yeah, in France it would happen a lot. I was actually worried about my own mother.
I mean, it's
last time we had a heat wave, but
we don't have air conditioning at all. It's like 3% or less of residential houses.
Yeah, dehydration is a problem, but.
Whereas here it's 95% plus.
My body went to make sure my mum was okay, so yeah, I'm not trying to trivialize it at all. It's closer to home than you might think. Anyway, we have Team Liquid versus ATK in the final map of this best of 3 series to see who goes to Arlington, Texas from week 4, North America. It has come down to this, and Liquid will start as the aggressors. No P250s. However, they have a plan. They've got 2 smokes. They've got 4 flashbangs. Twist even has a fake flash with the decoy, which does have use, does have purpose. Sonic will spot something, but be taken out before he can respond.
Okay, looking to try to make this defense work, but with 1 player down and the T's really close with the Glocks. It is time to run away! And can't run away from Nafla, it seems. OTM in the flank, but he has got 2 players to worry about. What you doing getting a knife out, mate? It's not going to work out. It's a disaster. You know, one thing that's next level, James, talking about decoys.
A flight of stairs.
Throw all the decoys on the bomb man. Ooh, nice double from Floppy. He's making it competitive. He's got the flashbang as well he's collected. I'm not sure if he knows about that. Needs another pop to make this a reality.
Adren won't show. Adren's a no-show. Now he shows. Yeah. And finishes off the impact frags. Mr. Hogue. Monsieur Hogue.
Yeah, how much damage does a decoy do when it explodes? Like 5 or something?
I think so.
So if you have 5 of those on the bomb, someone's having to defuse.
Wait, does actually do 5 damage?
I don't know how much damage.
You just agree to
I'm just
I
guessing.
don't know how much it does.
It does like some level of damage.
I think it does more than 1 damage. Somebody tweet. I know someone out there knows, so send a tweet.
Maybe it does 50.
Sliggy, do you know?
I have a video somewhere on my YouTube where I threw a decoy into Mirage on a pistol round, and about 40 seconds later, it exploded and killed someone who was running past. It was amazing.
That is awesome.
Well then, Nafly is getting very aggressive towards short B. We can all learn something from this, say, like apart from Valence. Like us guys in the office. You know, we're trying to improve our T side of Overpass. Grenades need to be learned. That molly, where the CT stand to swing on the monster, I really need to learn that molly and the HE for that position as well. So far, not so good for Liquid, however, because they've lost 2 players. Make it 3. This has happened before. It looks to be happening again. Liquid could try to boost outside the window. Maybe that's an option. They've got time to try and do that. They're looking for a boost themselves. Mr. Jablanowski has got a lot of work to do. With the Galil as well. Not the easiest weapon. 35 bullets though. But how familiar is he with the spray? We know he's working with the Krieg. The Galil, the bastard child of the T rifle family.
That looks pretty nice though. I like it. Trying to make his way forwards, and each has to trade it up, but he cannot. Nice second round from ATK. We need to learn how to rush, James. We can't rush properly.
We can rush, we just don't look at, no one looks at short.
We can't
and
rush.
we panic, try to plant the bomb instead of making sure the site is secure, slowing things down, seeing what the CTs are trying to do. We need to keep the rifles out and look for them to peek into the angles. If we just did that, if we just sat and had the angles covered and waited for the CTs to swing before we plant, we'd win a lot more of those situations, in my opinion, which is correct.
Well, it's going to be a difficult one for ATK to not lose any players. There's all these deeks out on the field. We saw what they could do on the previous map. Oh, it's a pop waiting to happen, isn't it? It's a great flash. Simple but effective. And looks like they are working very well together, ATK. So, Benz, what do you think about like achieving chemistry as a team? Because I think you made the point earlier. They have good chemistry, and it's surprising. So, is that something that's like, very hard to achieve with a group of players? You know, if you're making a team.
I think it is because you're gonna have limited practice and you're gonna kind of gain chemistry on whatever you've seen in practice so far.
Yeah.
And good teams, when you play them in matches, they're gonna start to adapt to what you're doing, and you won't necessarily have seen that, so your chemistry won't be including that aspect of it in your playbook. So I think it's just gonna come with experience, not getting super mad at each other when you're losing in scrims in practice, and over time, of course, you're gonna build out the playbook. And right, like you said, anyone can gain that chemistry over time, but of course, everyone has different personalities, and if your teammates don't like you in that process of gaining chemistry, then you're not gonna have good chemistry anyway. So it's a bit of both.
Yes. Sometimes people have a personality that's wrong.
Why do you look at me when you said that?
Needs to be
I have a great personality.
Ooh, he hit the heads. That's needless violence.
446 to 448 damage with an AWP headshot. I don't know why it varies by 2 HP. It's really strange, but
Damage
anyway.
4, James.
Perhaps, yeah, perhaps. The statistics on revolver bullets are really crazy. I think they just copy-pasted AWP at first, but they're just like the range and all sorts. The revolver's mad.
I might start like equipping it for certain maps, like Inferno or Dusty, maybe.
The problem is forgetting to unequip it. But I mean, you need a deagle more than I do.
Just shuffle it with the deagle.
Do you know what, to be honest, my deagle aim's not there right now. Maybe I will equip the revolver just to combine with my knife kill shenanigans. Just people are going to disconnect.
Improve my intimidation.
Look at the bush. Nafly can't quite hit the mark. This is weird. I can't imagine they know what to expect from ATK from map to map. So things like this can be ruinous. Twist delivers the smoke grenade towards the toilets, to be speaking before it pops off. From the fountain, you can throw the Molotov to the Vida. Trent just waiting in the connector. Leash having a butcher swing. Floppy's waiting to deploy an incendiary. He's showing some flesh. Oh boy, he got caught. Have to rethink that one. Great position, and they'll play straight off of that. Stewie behind the pillar, looking towards short, dealing with that. The smoke on the site's cool because he can plant it for the higher ground, where it's really exposed. He'll do exactly that. Makes it a lot harder to defend if they can take CT somehow. Then there's more action to be had. Over the smoke, Stewie will make the odds worse for ATK, and he will just continue to smash the players of ATK. MOTM collecting the AWP. Nothing more he can do in this situation, and away he goes. Liquid back. Again, just Floppy, he's just jiggling too much. Jiggling too much, went too wide. The slowdown from the Krieg was such that he could not escape. He was caught in the jaws of a giant jellyfish, which don't have jaws, but if they did, this would make a lot more sense. I didn't want to say shark, because sharks are my friends.
Jellyfish are also dead.
What?
They're dead.
They're dead.
Yeah, like what is it, like 99% of dead material is just actually just dead material or something.
When you say dead material, what do you mean, like decaying material? Because you must be alive to be dead.
I forget how it's defined. I'd have to look
Probably
at
not the way you're saying.
No, I mean, like, it's effectively like...
I think you need to
dead
clarify
tissues.
this,
It's like
Dan.
dead-
I
like,
can't take a scientific
it's
explanation
like-
from you without immediate reference.
I think it's to do with the nervous system or something. Like your hair is dead tissue, for example.
Dan, you're gonna have to do the research right now. You can't give me bad education, okay? I want better teachers than this. JTK moving forward with a grenade, and it's not working out. A forward play from ATK, gamble's taken, but this can still turn around with 2 AWPs on deck, but the one towards the bogs has to activate. 5 versus 3. Do you start to play together? There's a molly I'm talking about towards Divider. That one's not quite on the mark, as he could have picked ahead of it. It's supposed to land a little shallower to take the angles away, looking towards party and such. Here is Sonic with the first AWP. Spots one, repositions. Floppy is here as well. And now the numbers will turn around. Sonic with his third. Leaving a Liege in a 1 versus 3. Has a Liege been spotted? Because he has most certainly seen Floppy.
That was nice.
The forward play with the AWP and short B was great. Again with 2 AWPs. You can still turn things around in that 3 versus 5. With the action having been so deep towards party and so on, there is position to be had from ATK, and they do turn it around.
This could have been easily 5-1 for ATK if Sonic and Floppy didn't get caught out in that 5v4 a couple rounds ago. So I think this is so far so good for ATK.
I'm good. Have you done the research? Keep going if you haven't.
Researching.
There is no job for you to do other than the science of jellyfish right now. Elise will be taken down in the short B position. 2 tags, but no frags for Team Liquid. And tags are not enough. Tags are for Facebook. Frags are for Counter-Strike. Deagle collected. OC around the dice. No need to gamble though. Spots the player approaching. It's Stewie. I wish we saw more lurk smokes towards Stewie's right-hand side to just allow players to creep up, or not, when angles are being held from CT to help them burst. Liquid moving forward on the march. OC fact-finding. MOTM's in a nice angle, an expected angle, but a nice angle where he has a shadow advantage. OC to run distraction. MOTM is blind, but still manages to find 2 on the swipe. A twist will keep the Desert Eagle out. And there will be limited success for Team Liquid in round number 7. The money rises, and so does opportunity for Team Liquid in round number 8.
It almost feels like the longer a round goes, the less in favor it is for Liquid to win the round. And I think partially that's because you have different people in different spots a little bit. Obviously, you're playing with the Dren, so I think it's hard on Overpass to kind of split the map and kind of work it and be able to regroup on time, as you don't have that same synergy you're used to.
Smoke towards the box. How's your research going, Dan?
Don't have any brains, blood, or hearts. They're 95%
You said they were
water.
dead, though.
Yeah, basically.
You said they were dead. You can't mislead the audience. So is that your definition? So is Dan's definition of dead?
Yeah,
Okay, so you were talking nonsense before, is what you're saying.
I guess so.
Okay. I don't want people going into school being like, jellyfish are dead.
Yeah, I know. It's what
That's a phone call to the parents.
Can't believe James said this. What was a pick for a Liege? Missed shot from OC. He's not going to do ATK all that much good. Considering, oh my god, they're just on the site. They're just on the site. MOTM, he's not ready. He's not ready. Looks like there will be JT in position to take a frag, but he will get sprayed down, and so will MOTM. They can't hold the bomb site. It doesn't look like this is going to happen for ATK. Going to walk away. Got to walk away from this one.
Walk away or trot away like it's equestrian.
Yeah. You should do...
There's a horse on Inferno.
you should try to play polo, James. Horse polo.
I was going to play water polo, but they had such a low attendance in the Santa Monica swimming pool that they recently just cancelled it. The organisers left the meetup group. Which
Water
makes me
polo-
sad.
Well, I was talking about on the horses, because you were talking about horses. But we
Yeah,
could
I
talk
don't want to
about
get on a
water polo.
horse. I got on a horse on Egypt. I felt bad for the horse.
Well, there must be like a Bard or Freddy horse somewhere in the world.
Yeah, giant horse, but I'm too afraid of the potential injuries from horse riding
Yeah.
to ride a horse. The life-changing injuries. Water polo, I'm down to play
Dude, water polo is brutal. It's like
for
you're-
the
it's some-
fitness
it's-
aesthetic.
it's basically just trying to drown people to
No one's
get to
gonna
your
try and
objective.
drown me.
That's the whole point. So you're trying to drown people to get to your
But I'm
objective.
not trying to play it in competition like that. I just want to, you know,
It's a
the fitness side of
brutal
it.
contact sport.
Just want to hit a ball around in the water.
I just want to swim.
Water polo people, much respect. You guys are hardcore. Is there any water poloers out there with us?
I'll have to find another water polo group. But speaking of water polo, Liquid will smell the ammonia of the sewers as they make their way towards short B. Not quite a scene for water polo. Trent must be careful not to shoot his teammate. So far, so good in that respect. JT taking some damage. But Liquid have position. They have strong position. Floppy going for the gimmick play.
I can never get up there. What's the trick?
I've never actually tried to go
I
up
tried
there.
to do it, yes, last night. I just couldn't figure it out.
I forget to go up there. But I mean, he just looked like he just W'd up there. So
Well, that's the thing, yeah. And I tried doing that. I just can't. I don't know. If I'm just an idiot or something, maybe
that'd
I'm
be a
dumb.
great position for a Krieg.
Because the issue is all the left eye peaks in that position. You kind of want to be on the left side of the tunnel, but it's kind of can't really do that just as a solo
I think
player.
it just sucks because when you throw it in there, that's like one of the gimmick plays,
Yeah.
which can just devastate a round. Although you've got to be ready for that nostril pop flash.
Yeah.
But you'd probably see the T's lining up before you saw that flash anyway. So
Stew through the flowers. 30 seconds to plant the bomb, and they could have. They don't look too set up just yet. You can see that ATK is still slowing them down towards bathrooms control. MOTM's close. This is actually a fantastic position for MOTM to be in, because if he gets a kill or two, just anything to slow this down, it's going to cause problems. Big flash over the top here for MOTM. Can he find anything? He's crawling on the flank.
oh no.
He's being found, but there's no time, surely. There's no time to get the bomb planted at this point. They're going to run onto the bomb site still.
seconds. JT could get multiple, or he could get nothing at all. The bomb starts to be planted just in time. OC's in the middle of the smoke, and down goes the bomb. 3 versus 3. Make it 2 on 2. Both plays in CT. I don't think this has been identified just yet by Team Liquid. Nafly's going to go around the world. There are no grenades left for ATK. There's no smoke for the variants. Maybe there's something to be found on the site, but first they must clear the positions. Jump peek and Stewie is spotted. No need to face. He'll change his position, looking for a quick flick. Forwarding back again. He's hunted. He will be eliminated. But whereas Nafly, was he spotted on long? I don't think he was. They're looking for him. The 5-second defuse. Is he going to peek in time? They're lining up the spray! Just in time. That had to be sub 1 second. Very, very tense for Liquid on the A site. MOTM, so unfortunate, playing to win the round, not to frag one player. This was unreal from Stewie.
Yeah, that's the play. Yeah, if that if you didn't get that kill, the bomb's probably not going down.
Yeah, there's
Pretty
nothing wrong
auto
with what MOTM did there. Again, he's playing for the time.
Yeah, that was crazy though, because as you say, that was about like 300 milliseconds or so. That spray stops the defuse before, so it's the closest one, and that's really going to suck for ATK. They have some money left in the bank. They have to go for more or less a full save. They really like the 5.7s. I find that really curious. I still find that the CZ is I don't know. I just feel like it's better still. Do you have an opinion on this, Valence? 5.7 versus CZ?
Yeah, I still like the C. I think the CZ, if you're in a spot to get a guaranteed 1 kill, CZ will get you that more often than a 5.7. But a 5.7 multi-frag ability higher for sure. So it's up. Yeah, depends what you want it for.
Sure.
I like the CZ more because if I'm buying a CZ, I just want to get that 1 kill, steal a gun, and keep on rolling.
It's more guaranteed. If you have that first shot accuracy, the 5.7 will reward you. Jerry is quite the 5.7 player, for example.
What about the Tech 9 versus the CZ? Because I see people choosing Tech 9 sometimes, pro play.
Oh boy, well, there's a 2K from OC with the 5.7. It's almost all 5.7s.
No, exactly, that's what I mean. They all have 5.7s equipped.
5.7 squad.
Yeah. You don't see it very often. So that's why I was asking about it. Flash out. Ooh, maybe getting another one running into 2 players, and the spray down will do the damage. So no guns can be collected, unfortunately, for ATK, but they still have a couple of 5.7s, and the time is a problem for Liquid. If Sonic gets good timing here, oh, it's a problem now if he just stays alive, and he's got the AK as well. Another frag comes through, and he can just play the time now. The bomb plant has to come in. One fake is all there is time for, and Nafly played it again to perfection. A quad kill, and once again, he's the one to save it. So he got 4 frags in this round, and 2 in the round previous, and that's basically all of his kills. Very impactful.
No fear. Wild. Molly would have been pretty useful there by Divider. But again, those panels you can spray through, for sure. You can spray through, but you don't see people doing that either. But that might invite a pop flash play.
Damage though, like the damage from these last 2 rounds is pretty huge for Team Liquid. It means that they have nothing here, so ATK have given themselves a solid opportunity. Might get a very fast round coming through. Everyone running through Monster Tunnel. And this is going to be a tough hold here for ATK. They don't have any defensive smokes dropped just yet to slow things down, but maybe they don't need it because the frags come through regardless. A 3 versus 3 now, and the rotation's getting closer, but it might not be close enough.
Felt almost a little Astralis-esque with those late flashes, although Astralis will throw even later flashes from multi-stage setup towards the B bomb site. MOTM with a good effort, but OC now, do you want to risk this? 1 versus 3, you have $50 in the pocket.
That was a really good swing.
Surely is a problem on those fast plays. It's such a problem.
It is a huge issue, yeah. I think what I would have liked from ATK is once they realize the push is coming, just instantly drop the defensive smokes so that Team Liquid's, maybe they'll eventually get the site, but you at least have the full rotation.
Where's the shadow? Have we got low shadow settings on? We must do. Because there should be a shadow there. If you've got high shadow settings, you'll see the shadow.
That is, and it was 0 shadow.
Yeah.
Is something weird going on?
It must be the shadow settings on the Observer PC. But no, that's why people at home, you have to have your shadow settings on high because you are denying yourself information if you don't. I learned that watching Adren's YouTube videos. Well, they are on high. Okay, then that's an unusual one. Maybe it's a GoTV bug. Yeah, there are a million and one weird GoTV bugs, so
unlimited.
The settings are indeed on high, very high indeed.
Every patch is probably a new GoTV bug.
You still get the flying stickers every now and then.
It's almost like a virus. Just like finds ways to stay. Even though those little fixes will come in, the dApps.
Yeah, look at that.
Now stickers are flying. Now what? 5-7 crew. Back at it again. But can't find anything. 8 punch is a problem. Oh, nice. P250. Creating some problems here for Liquid. ATK have the orb still in play. OC, where are you at? He's rotating through 8. He's a bit far from the action. He needs to get here to protect JT. Can he do it? JT's a big bait, and looks like he can. I don't know if he scopes, fresh scoped or not, but he will get the kill to a leash. 3v3 all of a sudden. It's a gun to be collected. They can't deny it. If OC can rotate quickly enough, maybe more work can be done, but the utility advantage is going to be problematic.
Yeah, they're being really careful with this push into the B bomb site, Liquid. We've got a smoke up on the balcony. They can re-smoke it with Nav, who's coming through Monster as well. There may be even be a chance to boost on the balcony. ATK not going for it though. They were considering it, but they decided against it. They can't really afford to throw all these toys in the bin. I think I did a video of a Liquid execute into the B bomb site, where from short B, Nitro throws a Molotov onto lower B, where the CTs move into B from. I want to say it's a left and right click release. Liquid move to 7 again. This one map will determine who goes to Arlington for some Thanksgiving Counter-Strike, where we give thanks for mods of Half-Life back in the day.
So great comeback from Team Liquid. That is now 5 rounds in a row. And some of these rounds have been very marginal, honestly. ATK need to throw something else at Liquid here. They have a really nice fight.
Yeah, a couple of rounds have been super close, like 10 second, 5-second plants. So I think they're not. I don't think ATK is doing anything too terrible right now. They're just losing those close rounds. So next time, don't.
Keep on keeping on, and we have a rotation through connected to bathrooms. 4 players. That's quite a lot of players. MOTM's on the other side of it, as well as OC with the AWP, and they must not get caught out by this swell of players. One spotted, OC has to fall back there to divide the smoke. They go for a re-peek in bathrooms. The flick was missed. Now he's committed. He's got another one, but he can't do it. MOTM looking for the flank, but sometimes those flanks can be pretty readable. We'll see though if that is the case. In fact, at least drops the Molotov, actually planning in front of DAY4 here. So where do they fall back to? MOTM does have control of the bathroom still.
There is a flank from Nafly through the B bomb site, and maybe this plant is to catch them off guard, because I was surprised it didn't plant the truck. Oh dear, they're falling to pieces now. This flank, how will it work with most of the players coming in from the connected position? Twist with the 180 just in time. Where is Naf? He's still walking up. They've both got kits, they touched the bomb. Naf is getting nervous, starting to run now. They're on the bomb going through the Molotov, but he won't find an angle. Such a long flank. Didn't plant for him, and it didn't work out. ATK find their 6th round, an expensive round, but they've got the money to withstand the pressure.
Really well done by MOTM. He slow played this position pretty heavily, but it pays off. He's very fortunate that Stewie is about to pull a nade out, thinking the flank is safe, thinking his teammate can keep him safe, perhaps. This time Naf can't clutch it. So ATK finally make it work. His fast burst from connector can be deadly. Just smoking the molly here, trying to take guaranteed control as Suez.
This presence is what Liquid have tried to play off in some previous rounds.
Dude, it feels like Adren has probably a lot of hours in CS recently. He just looks so comfortable moving around. Usually when you watch coaches who have just been coaching, it doesn't look quite as smooth.
Yeah, but some people love to play Counter-Strike. Although being on the road so much on a top-tier team is not easy to do that.
Yeah. That's a big one.
A false sense of security. A Trojan horse.
This is a nice play, though. Although they give up long, need to get damage before they set up or get the information, and they put themselves in position to get the info. They've really gambled towards this A site, and they understand what's happening. They can rotate, perhaps in time to stop the B push or at least contest it. And Floppy's going to walk straight past Stewie, which I don't know how that's going to go. Oh my god, back to back. Away they go. So whose flank is going to be more deadly? I don't know. Floppy's perhaps, because they haven't even pushed into the site yet. So Floppy's going to cut down some of the numbers. He can threaten the monster push as well. Oh, the double. That means Stewie's not really going to be in the action before the round maybe is already over. He's coming through connector now, but that's where Adren is as well. But there's no time now, and the round has been won. Very well played by ATK in this one. I don't think Liquid really did anything wrong. I think it was the decision for ATK to gamble towards A and go aggressive, and put themselves in an aggressive setup that allowed them to have the info to make that play. That's really awesome.
We move into the last round of the first half. Adren came into this round with $450. That flies forced to buy a scout, a bunch of pistols, and the one Krieg on Stewie. Not be easy. And again, the numbers of Liquid, for the most part, have to stay alive for Stewie to be the can opener and try to, well, Nafly as well, to be the, not live, okay, there's some kind of issue, probably with Naf. But yeah, they need to, Naf and Stewie need to be can openers. The other Ts need to stay alive unless they get close to a site, then they need to swing to enable the Krieg to get to work. But ideally they want to pick up some rifles to increase their output, their firepower.
This has got to be like one of the most important matches for these players. Like ATK, do you think they've ever played a match as big as this before? Like qualifying for LAN against Team Liquid in the best of 3?
Probably not to the same extent, and also probably never where they've been so competitive.
Yeah.
So I think this is their biggest chance yet, for sure.
It's kind of amazing. I just love the story there, because for them it's like this is the pinnacle that they've achieved thus far versus Liquid, who have seen the greatest heights more or less.
Yeah, and I really feel like that CT side wasn't bad, even though you know, right now it's 7-7, and I feel like a lot of those rounds could have gone to the CTs.
Yeah.
So I think so far it's been super competitive, all 3 maps.
Yeah, it's definitely looking pretty darn good here. It's hard to say which team will make it to 8 in at the end of the first half.
This is a great chance for ATK to get 8. I mean, just from the buy situation, I think this is going to be a great chance for them to move into the lead going to the next half.
T side of Overpass is such a different beast, so looking forward to seeing what they have there.
Where will Adren go on the CT side?
Well, he's been AWPing, so perhaps A is usually where you put your dedicated AWP.
If Stu ops, it'll probably be like Stu and a Liege at A, but Stu plays that B bomb site pretty well, so I'm not sure if they would do that.
Where is Naf? Oh, he's back on the server. So hopefully soon there'll be a restore, and then we'll be good to go. Oh, I see Sliggy, spectator. All go and add him on Steam, just to fill up his Steam notifications with spam. That'll be fun. It's like when players play at majors, at least in scale form, they'd have like 300 friend requests after each match. Thank God for the ignore all. So some internet issues for NAF, but hopefully it will resume soon. So after 420, what's the next number of interest?
What?
450 is a good clean number,
Oh.
right? In terms of days since we could draw on a map, 450, 500 is a huge one. I can't imagine they'll allow it to get to 500.
Well,
At this point, they're not going to fix it, James.
yeah, I
Yes, they
think he's
are.
right.
Yes, they are. They must.
I think they're just going to release new
They
Counter-Strike.
must. I know they will. I know they will.
Counter-Strike Bardolph offensive.
They will fix it. I know they will. They
Counter-Strike
must.
BO.
It's undeniable the power of drawing on a map to educate people. If you look at the barriers of entry, right? They've been doing some work on barrier of entry recently with regards to new accounts and trying to keep the rage hackers and so on away from the people with new accounts and stuff. I forget what the change was, but it's a barrier of entry. We know that more people watch the game than play the game, especially at the majors and so on, which is a good thing, which can't be said for every other game or many other games.
Maybe even
out
any
there.
other?
I don't know how to make a sweeping statement like that, but
Do it, James.
the
Your
point
opinions are
point
facts.
is, if they're tuning into streams and you can explain the strategy behind that, especially to old idiots who come in like, oh my god, it's a violent game, and you explain, well, actually, all this stuff is happening. Then there's a higher point of interest. You're making more points of engagement for the viewers, for people who are in silver, to explain why people should do something, or the effect of something, or what could have happened if this happened, blah blah blah. There's so much you can do, so much you can communicate to an audience.
What if what you drew on the map could be seen by everyone on your team?
I asked him to do that as well. I sent him an email in conversation with Henry as well. He also contributed to these ideas in the previous season, saying exactly, what if you could draw on the map and say, let's do this strat, you're going to go here and explain to people, especially in Europe where you've got different languages.
Yeah.
I think that would really help. So my hope is that this is in development, and that's why it takes longer than just a generic drawing on the map.
Okay.
That's what I hope, but who knows? There is definitely a lot of utility to be had in doing something like that. I know that they have a priority list of things, so I imagine it's on the list somewhere, but what is above it, who knows?
Nothing should be.
Nothing should be. No, at this
Right.
point, nothing should be. I mean, there's easy
Demo
fixes,
player.
right? Like the no. There's
Yes.
there's easy fixes like the helmet icon. They can do that in 5 minutes. So that's like not even on a list. It's just like, oh yeah, I can fix that, no problem. Which is why I imagine that came out this week, because I only emailed that like 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. Like,
Impressive.
Yeah, it's just not what it's supposed to be. But
Demo player is much more robust as a learning tool than drawing on the map.
robust for who?
For everyone.
But we're talking
Drawing on the map's
barrier
very
of entry.
limited.
We spoke about barrier of entry. That's a higher barrier of entry to be like loading demos and things. When you could tune into a stream, which is one of the main sources of entry, I would say, for new players, and explain stuff.
How many
and
more
YouTube
people
as
will be
well.
streaming
Media.
demos if it was easier?
Yeah, but general streaming, you can be playing and be fragged. You can be watching demos. There's more utility across different aspects with the map. Therefore, it's higher.
We
than
should get the
demos.
ECS social media account to do a poll between what's more important. Because
You know people are going to vote for the map. This campaign, look how long this campaign's been going on
well,
for.
well, there you go. You've had a
There's no
fully
point-
fleshed out campaign.
There's no
I've got
point
nothing.
even going for it.
I've got nothing. Just a
we
better
made
opinion.
a clock
And
for this.
we'll see what
So-
wins. Better politics or
More
truth.
casuals than pros, so I think the map's gonna win in the pool. Because pros would probably want the demo player. But
Yeah, but the pros don't exist without the casuals.
I agree.
Exactly.
casuals
Therefore,
don't
you
know
have
what they
to
want.
educate the casuals and increase the number of people coming into the game. You know, with competition on the horizon for Counter-Strike, I was thinking, 20th anniversary, the game's been around for a very long time. Like when I'm streaming, I'm on certain maps where I'm trying to fly off a ladder, which is just standing in the middle of nowhere to land on a platform. And I have like 400 people watching me. I'm thinking like, what other game are you going to have where things are drilled? You got surfing, KZ, general movement, things around the game, zombie mods. Like it's all well and good
Quake.
to does that exist right now? People playing those games
It
right now,
should.
like 20 people. Like realistically, like if you're trying to compete with Counter, the point I'm making, but that wasn't the point I'm making. The point I'm making is like if you're trying to compete with Counter-Strike and you're releasing new products, there's so much community and all these different things. You can't just kind of replicate that. You can be, you can kind of tweak servers and things or make things slightly better than what they might be over here. But there's all these things you can't replicate, man. You can't copy pasta that. But there's zombie stuff in Quake.
No, but you have fully fleshed out game modes.
What about those jump maps? Because you've shown me some really cool jump maps for
Well, the racing,
Quake, which I wanted to show at our finals, but falling on deaf ears. Huh?
I play on my stream all the time. Just like basically, it's called defrag in Quake 3, but it's in other games it calls race mode, where you have huge maps where it's designed to use movement skills to get the fastest times. And it's just epic to watch. I show a lot of people those on my streams because people haven't seen it before, and everyone just gets mesmerized by it because it's like really, for some reason, just zone out and just very enjoyable to watch. I don't know why, but it looks amazing.
I think that those Quake jump videos we should be showing for the people at an event
Yeah,
during downtime and so on.
they look awesome.
People don't listen to me, man.
Yeah,
Why aren't we doing it? Why aren't
I
we
know.
doing it, guys? It's awesome. It's
They're really
cultural.
cool.
It's culture. It's gamer culture. We should be doing it. So do it.
Yeah, there's a guy on YouTube who has a video of like a few of them, which are like he's just put them together, come together, and it's like hour and a half long with like really good music.
Imagine
Yeah,
how
it's
perfect that
awesome.
would be.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's amazing.
I know. I agree with you.
It's
there.
also
I agree.
the skill level is extremely high, and you can kind of see it as well when you're watching it. I think.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great to watch. People love tuning in for the KZ stuff, but also they make it fun because they have custom skins. So there's like a Donald Trump jumping around as a Putin, as a Darth Vader. Some more controversial figures as well. And there's like anime, like Japanese schoolgirls with backpacks and all the weird stuff you'd expect. There's all just bee hopping and stuff. It's just ridiculous, but it's
Movement
like the people are
mechanics
super nice.
Are underrated enormously. It's just for some reason, I think because developers think it's too high, the barrier to access is too high, and it's not intuitive. I just don't agree. I just think people have the wrong approach.
Yeah, remember in Apex the movement. There was a set like the hopping was kind of nerfed in that game, right?
Yeah, you could do proper bunny hopping more or less for a while, but they nerfed it. I spoke to one of the developers who designed all the characters, and he told me they had like an internal kind of discussions about it where everyone's like split. Basically, they're discussing it for like months on end. It was like a hugely debated topic in the company whether they should remove it or not. And it's not fully removed. It can still do it with some characters, just not as effective.
Well, I think like I suppose a question for them. Because that's not Counter-Strike, right? Which has
Source
like
engine though.
but that's not the point I'm making.
Yeah.
The point is it's like a big hardcore base with Counter-Strike, whereas that is It has, has some hardcore, but it's still a young game and has a casual base. And if that's going to be like abused against the casual players and maybe kind of disincentivize them from playing the game, then that's a problem. So I don't think the approach is the same as it is in like Counter-Strike and bunny hopping, for example.
I mean, I never liked those arguments because, we all played Quake originally, StarCraft and CS and stuff. And if you're playing against better players, they're going to wreck you because they're also really skilled games.
Yeah, and then
So
you
just
go
have
and
to
play
have
something else.
But you just have to build the game with. I mean, because when we were all playing these games, everyone sucked, so it's fine.
Yeah, but
And-
that's a different generation of players.
But now
where
you have
didn't
matchmaking.
have 200 million games to play.
Now you have matchmaking.
Yeah,
You can be with people that are as bad as you,
that is true.
and you can.
But I think you can't copy and paste. You have to appreciate that we live in an era of games. By the way, we've got like the changing server. Nav had a routing issue, I assume, so that's why we're just filling time. You have to appreciate, from my perspective, that we live in an era where things have to be easy and people don't pay less attention. So it can't be the same as it. Like, there's the ideal world for us, but then there's like the current status quo out there, especially where games are designed these days with basically doggy treats. People looking to, they get like rewarded with treats and so on in ways where we didn't need that or have that in our generation. So
I mean, that's instant gratification versus deep gratification. It's always the battle.
yeah.
But the thing is that if you're making, this has always been this is the problem right now. I have faith that in like 10 years at least, people will make competitive games because people believe in the competitive spectacle. Because like for example, I don't know if you were around in the Painkiller days.
Yep.
So Painkiller is like a really good example. For those of you who don't know, in 2003, I think it was, this game called Painkiller came out, and it was like super fast-paced, like bunny hopping and everything. And everyone loved watching it. MTV did this collaboration with CPL, I think it was, to do a world tour. And so they had like a stop. They had a professional scene where it's like, the joke was only 17 players played the game. This was actually the joke, which is why it's relevant, because the game was extremely difficult, and if you knew the movement and the skills very well, you'd absolutely smash someone who's even just minutely worse than you, and which is why Quake also struggled to some extent. Either way, they kind of traveled all these pros around from city to city all around the world, and everyone that I've known who's seen the Painkiller World Tour thought it was insane, like incredible, and one of the best things that they've watched. And some people I've talked to even say to this day that they thought it was the most exciting tournament circuit they've seen, and yet no one played that game except the pros, a very small group of pros. So as like a spectacle, for a competitive spectacle, we don't design games that way because you have to monetize the games by having a user base.
Yeah,
so
you need people to play the game.
I understand the difficulty there. That's why
Otherwise, there is no
Counter-Strike
game.
is lightning in a bottle, because it somehow has a very appealing. It's very appealing for the casual users, and it still has a high skill ceiling.
It's that feeling of achievement when you get a 1 versus 2 and you can barely aim with your mouse and silver.
But StarCraft, I think, is another good example of that as far as RTSs go, because it's an RTS, like you can make it cool, like you can make it compelling, you can get people literate in the game because they'll go through the campaign, which is like a standalone amazing thing, and then they can like look at a professional game and be like, oh, I understand what the units are, I kind of understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So that's another path to that. And that's the thing with movement mechanics. You never had a game which was like, here's a movement mechanics, maybe not super intuitive to you. Maybe in 10 years, by the way, bunny hopping is going to be intuitive to the general masses because, this stuff's been around for so long. But right now, it's not really like that. So maybe that's just the case that you make it intuitive by just having, like, showing people how to do it in the game, like defining a course behind it, just, making it. Because Quake did that, but obviously it wasn't very big when it did that. Still,
yeah,
but still.
But I think also, with those kind of games where, let's say you die and you want to get into another game quickly, like a PUBG and so on, I don't know that you necessarily want those distractions around the game which are going to stop you from, because they want people to get into the game as fast as possible, right? So all these kind of things beside the game will technically lead to longer times to queue into the game, like a platform, for example, like FACEIT. So that also has to be considered.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem too.
There's a lot of parameters to consider about what your main priority is. Does this take away in a good way, in a bad way?
The thing with the jumping stuff, which I think you'll be definitely understand now because you're doing all the KZ stuff, which is really interesting to me, is that it's this really skillful thing. Generally speaking, like the scale of like what you can do if you're extremely good at it versus starting at the bottom, the difference is pretty huge, which is kind of compelling because when you see someone that can jump further than you, it's kind of like if you have never seen competitive games before, it's kind of a weird moment. It's like, wait, what? He can jump further than me, and he's not pressing a skill button or something to do that. He's jumping further. I think that's like a compelling thing, because then sometimes people are curious and then they'll figure out how to do it, and then they'll get that sense of accomplishment that's kind of unique. It's not really that instant gratification thing so much. It's like, I just learned a skill, and there's like different tiers to this skill. Now I want to explore what that journey is. I think that's really powerful.
I was doing a KZ map yesterday, and it took me about 2.5 minutes to finish it. It wasn't a big map. But then I spec'd one of the better guys, and he did it in 35 seconds.
Yeah.
Just bunny hopping the entire way and skipping entire segments. I was like, holy crap. So that's like, but that made me like, maybe one day I will put the jump on the mouse wheel.
Oh,
instead of
yeah,
doing
yeah.
your space
Yeah,
bar.
you don't use in
No, I'm
CS.
hardcore, man.
In CS, that's crazy. I use spacebar for jumping every other game, but CS I use.
I
mouse
just
wheel.
kind of,
Same.
You have to do it, I feel like.
Same.
I just kind of refuse to learn, to get used to it.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
I put it on twice, and I was like, do you know what? I just can't be asked to
Do you use
learn this. But
the
I
scroll
think
wheel
I'll do it eventually.
for something else?
I mean, it has the weapons switch on it, but I don't really use it for anything because I use the numbers for the weapon, so I could technically disable it. Although sometimes, sometimes depending on what you're doing, there's the odd position where it's just easier to use the wheel a little, but I don't really use it.
It's I found the consistency is so much better to like hit the 2-jump bunnies where you get the acceleration to get the AWP angle first off of a spawn is like so strong. Like it's really strong.
I can do it with spacebar.
I just looked at him and he laughed. Neither of us believe you, but we don't want to say.
Doesn't use scroll wheel.
Who doesn't?
He's a spacebar.
Flusher?
Flusher.
Ah,
There we go.
It's not
Good
Norpa, though,
company. Who's laughing now?
but he's not an AWPer, James.
He's laughing now.
He also has unparalleled game sense.
That's true.
It's unparalleled.
He does. I learned a lot. I've played with him a few times actually. Flusher.
He's
great.
extremely smart.
It's
yeah.
cool. It's cool to just be dead from doing something stupid and just watch people.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing the casual CS, even though I'm trying, but you have the bad habits because you're not being punished like you're on a pro match. So if you play like a show match of Overpass, the way he peaks things is not the way I peak things. But it's cool to just kind of absorb that.
That's something that the KZ and like mastery of movement is really helpful with, like the movement mechanics, kind of like marrying that to the combat mechanics of how you'll spray or shoot or like whatever. Like once you get both those things really working together, it's kind of crazy what you can do. And that's like why, like when you watch JW originally, like he's just doing a lot of stuff in the game. Like 2015, that's just kind of nuts, and especially with the AWP crouch peeking as it used to be and stuff. But I actually think Flusher is probably, if I was to say, which Swedish professional has the best game sense when he's on point, I think I probably would say Flusher. He's like very smart.
Yeah.
One thing I learned about KZ actually from KZ, sorry, is like if you're playing upper B, how to
Which
go
map?
up the ladder.
Oh, you mean
Train? Sorry, how to go up the ladder without like flying off it like that, but just go up and just push. Like if you look to the left and hold right, you just come off it immediately, as opposed to like flying. I kind of learned that before.
In
I forgot about it, but
1.6,
now
you get more speed going up ladders by holding in both directions.
well, you get more speed by going forward in a direction on the ladders in CS:GO.
So
So
it
forward
works
and
the
left,
same
or
as
forward and
CS:GO?
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So like a lot faster. But if you like, if the ladder's here and you go up that way and you hold right, you'll just be like up rather than going and
really
wasting like half a second.
It's annoying on Nuke when people don't understand ladder mechanics and you're trying to get into the upper side and they're just like bobbing up like this. Like, come on, man. It's not
what's
hard.
really weird?
Just, like,
In
crouch.
danger zone, if you try to go fast up a ladder like in a water tower, sometimes it kind of makes you go sideways, and sometimes you fall off and just take damage, like loads of damage. It's a really bloody long ladder. It just doesn't go up the same way it does in like Nuke, for example, which is really irritating. Yeah. Anyway, so there's one place having some kind of connection issue, and I think we will go to a break. The podcast segment has come and gone. Once everybody's ready to resume, we shall resume. So hopefully it won't be too much longer. Stay tuned. We shall return.
Would you rather stay? I'll watch you be and slowly walk away. I would rather leave. I'll take your heart and wipe it off your sleeve. Should have known by now. There's no reason to.
Hello, hello. Dan and I have returned, and with any luck, the match will return shortly as well. Why is there a delay? Some really weird, obscure error has occurred, which is being dealt with at the moment. I think they're doing a workaround. It's a really bizarre thing we haven't seen before, but hopefully they'll be able to resume. Again, it is 7-7 at the moment. It's the last round of the first half. And with any luck, we'll be starting in the next 5 minutes, hopefully. So just to give you an update, rather than leave you sitting watching the screen with the lower third, yeah, it's just like an obscure issue of the server, which is being worked on by one of the engineers, trying to figure out the solution to it, or at least a workaround, which is mostly there. All the players are on the server and so on. It's just one or two teething things. It's really bizarre, but it's kind of complicated, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it is being sorted out at the moment. So fingers crossed we'll be starting that one soon. Valens has left as he has one of his cats is kind of poorly and is in a cat hospital, so he's going to collect his cat, which is fine. We thank him for his work this week, and indeed, hopefully we'll be able to finish off this match in the next 5 minutes. Well, resume it in the next
Yes,
5
I
minutes.
was gonna
That'll
say.
be a fast half, but again, ATK and Liquid are playing for a place at LAN in Arlington, Texas, and there is a half and one round to go in that respect. So just wanted to update you guys. I'm dropping things all over the place. Just wanted to update you as to what the current status is, and I think they might be close to starting the game. So I've been told to keep going. Dan, what have you been doing in the meantime? Eating
I've been
pretzels,
listening
American
to the
pretzels.
Edward Snowden podcast.
All right, so you were really excited about this.
Well, it's just interesting, you know.
Well, what
Very
is interesting about
It's-
it? What
it's
have you
inter-
heard?
I mean,
What has he told you?
he basically just talks the entire time, which is fantastic. It's great. You want to hear from him about 3 hours.
Okay,
And
but
he's just
about what?
talking, He's just talking about just
Yeah.
corruption, conspiracy, the American people, the wiretapping scandal, just all that stuff. It starts off with he kind of goes into his backstory a little bit. Then
Did he
kind
talk
of-
about
then
James
kind
Bardoff,
of
though?
launches into all that stuff. I don't know. I've only got about, I would say 70% of the way through it.
Did
so
he talk
far.
about the almost tricast at Blast Pro Series Moscow?
I'm listening out for it, but it hasn't come up yet.
Don't disappoint me, Snowden.
But it's really interesting though. I definitely recommend everyone listens to it. It's an interesting podcast.
Oh, apparently the game is live. Apparently. Let's see if it's true or not. It's true!
Okay.
Okay, thank you for your patience, people at home. Thank you to the players as well for being patient. Doesn't happen very often at all, but it can be a pain. But here we are, back again in the last round of the first half. OC will spot a play going towards that playground position, and the swings will be played with. Trivia, you can shoot the swing all the way around for an entire revolution. I tried to convince... who is it? Alex of this from Vitality. He thought I was trolling him. I wasn't. It's true. So what else are you going to do in the warm-up?
Right,
Stewie lining up a smoke grenade for the site, but he might get caught off by MOTM. You see he's nervous. He wonders about the push in the toilets on the other side as well.
Hello. Oh, the opportunities. Oh no, James.
Oh, he panic sprayed.
It was a little bit of a panic, but that's okay because you got your man JT and MOTM there to clean up. And that'd be a quick rotation to the B-bomb side. They may get a plant out of this, but the money is obviously not important. It's the last round of the first half. See what they can do with this post-plant situation. It is the harder bomb site to hold away from the CTs. So they're going to have to do this the hard way. Elige on a Deagle. He has to be the guy that gets this done.
Not bloody likely. 2 Molotovs, a smoke, likely to be isolated. MOTM with a HE grenade selected. Okay, that's a good start to Liege. That bomb is fairly ticked, but the mollies are going to be an issue. And Dren here's the scope going through the smoke. He made the play, didn't work out for him though. There will be no break at half time. We'll be going straight through. ATK take that last round of the first half, and we can resume in the second. That was interesting.
You thought it was going to be normal, James. You thought it was going to be simple.
Okay, we got some reconnects, so everybody's leaving the server. But there's a half to play, guys. Where are you all going? There's one more half to play. I think they may have had some funky settings to finish off that last round of the first half, so it shouldn't be too long before they resume the second. So it's 8-7 at half time. ATK are 8 rounds away from going to LAN, and Team Liquid are 9. It's been a back and forth. It's been a weird one with that Nitro playing. Adren has been holding his own, but of course you would want to play with your main team, right?
Just going to say,
Yeah.
go back to the podcast thing.
Right.
He also talks about his book, which he was obviously promoting, and that's
Yes.
why he couldn't cast with us.
Yes,
So
yes.
he's talking about the book.
I honestly think the Snowden TriCast was going to go down, but he had loads of book interviews to do.
I feel like maybe we should try follow-up one day. We could always try that.
If we're back commentating on Moscow, then, you know, we have a rapport, have a chain of DMs with Snowden and be like, remember me?
Yeah.
It's time, Snowden.
That's the
No
thing,
more
because
excuses.
he's doing that podcast from Russia as well, which is unusual.
So was
obviously,
it a
for the
video
Duolingo
podcast?
'cause normally he would fly people in from wherever they're at, if they're in the US. What's that?
Are you listening to it or are you watching it?
So he has a full video and everything, so it's like full screen
Okay.
video of him just like with the earbuds in, just talking.
Yeah. We need to get that Snowden TriCast going. If there's a Blast Moscow next year, then maybe that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was fun. It was exciting. It caused a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
The Snowden thing.
Yeah, it did. It did. It's funny. I think he's like following one person on Twitter. It's like the NSA or something.
Yeah.
I thought that was
That's
amusing.
kind of hilarious. You know, he's a gamer when he's doing things like that when the trolling is happening.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be. It was cool having Valens in that, by the way. I'm gonna speak of podcasts. I'm gonna get him on for one.
Yeah, it was. I know. I did
agreed as
notice
well.
that he picked up on things that most analysts don't talk about during rounds, which was cool. So he did give
Yeah.
a very different perspective, and even at times where we would just be filling off something, he's still just noticing things and would mention them. So that was very cool. That man has a lot of. He's a very, very smart man. He's probably, like, generally speaking, one of the smartest people in the scene. Just in general, like outside the game, just being an intelligent person, he's definitely up there. He's a pretty smart chap, Monsieur Chowdhury.
Yeah, he has a lot of really cool insights. I definitely learned some things whilst he was here, which is like one of the best things when you have the analysts on to test your understanding and see sort of where they're at with that concept, and that's really awesome. So yeah, hoping to get a lot of juicy tidbits as well when I get to talk to him in a la podcast mode. Who's coming on next week, James?
Next week we got the Bears for the final week. The Bears is back. We play a lot with the Bears. He has a lot of energy when we're playing with him, saying the most ridiculous things. You think I say ridiculous things? Listen to the Bears when he's playing with me. Constant trolling is going on there for sure.
We should make him host.
I can't imagine the things he would say if we made him host. I'm not sure that it's safe to do that.
There's no reason why we should do it.
Sometimes yes.
Risk.
Sometimes yes, Dan.
Makes it interesting.
Sometimes yes. Sometimes yes.
Indeed.
I need updates, production.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You gotta talk in my ear and tell me what's going on. Okay, so yeah.
You promised us,
it's hard
James.
to say. Yeah,
it's going to start. He's like, oh, it's going to be easy.
Yeah, it's hard for me to talk to production when I'm sitting here on camera, so maybe we have to go to a break and see.
We could get one of them over here.
Okay, we're going live the potato way. So just to get around the problems, it's going to be it's basically 8-7, but it's going to say 0-0. So we'll count the rounds just to get out the way and stop these players from sitting here. We can solve the issues later.
8-7 to who?
To ATK. They won the last round. So
they need 8 rounds to win.
I need to clean my glasses, man. It's covered in nonsense. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's so crazy. Like especially when you're in a hotel, you put your glasses on the side, you go to sleep, you wake up. There's just so much like dust and just things in the air, and your glasses are just covered with it, and they look like crap afterwards.
Can you get like LASIK to?
I can, but I have no desire to do that.
Yeah.
When I'm hearing they're lifting people's eyes and stuff, no.
Yeah.
No one's doing that to my eyes.
It is one of those things where like someone described the process to me. I think it was someone, or maybe I read it on the internet. Either way,
actually, wait. I have to cut you off because I really don't want to hear this.
Oh no, I'm not going to go into the bits.
I can't.
No, I want to get the stuff you're talking about. I'm not going to talk about that. Don't worry. This will not gross you out. But apparently you lose your vision for some moments whilst they're doing it. Obviously, I guess that would make sense maybe. But that's just scary to me. So you're effectively going blind for
I don't want to talk about this.
I
want to go back in time to before this conversation.
Exactly.
Oh,
Stop.
okay.
Stop yourself. Stop yourself. I put 2 of my knives on the market. I put my Faucian knife on the market. Slaughter.
Do you name them? You should give them name tags so that someone knows that they've got a Bardolph knife. So like, okay, did I jump the gun there?
Yes.
I'm so smart.
The Faucian knife is called because it's a slaughter. It just looks meaty, so I called it Wagyu Chef. And my Talon knife, which is also on the market, blue steel Talon knife, is called Saber of Bardistan.
I like the Wagyu Chef.
Wagyu Chef. Yeah, it was a cool name. So I put them both on the market at the cheapest prices for the respective weapons, which is a lot of money. Do you know what's crazy? The Medusa, I bought the Medusa minimal wear, or whatever it is, for like £350. It's like £900 on the Steam market now. The Glock Fade was for ages about £200. Now it's £450.
Wow.
Oh wow, they've got the score there as well. Props. 8-7 for ATK as we move into the second half. And off we go with Team Liquid trying to defend. And once again, he's got I think Elige has, at least he's got all the new knives, because he's got the pate knife out now. The picnic knife. That's
cool. Okay, well we have ATK ready to go for a monster attack. And the retake's already set up effectively for Liquid. No short presence from ATK on this push. So what oh dear. Oh, that's very odd. 2 quick kills for ATK. Again, short is under control. You can see Elige operating from there, but while not yet planted, ATK have time. They've got players. They can really figure this one out in the best way possible. Double peek there into Monster will be successful, and they absolutely crush it. And interestingly, the fact that they went all Monster was very helpful because Liquid had 2 players ready to go in connector.
Yeah, Liquid will start their CT side on the back foot. One last time for now, at least.
Stewie's positioning looked like he was
I was in the middle of a sentence, Dan.
I apologize, James.
I was in the middle of a sentence. Saying, okay, Nafly crashed again. I was saying, like, both these teams are fighting for a place in LAN. That's where, you know, I was trying to promote the LAN, Dan. You know, finals in Arlington, Texas. Tickets available at ECS.FACEIT.com. Feel free to contribute.
Brisket,
all of that.
barbecue. Get yourself there.
They also have, near that big Hilton where QuakeCon used to be, there is a medieval restaurant where they like have jousting and stuff while you're eating. I forget the name of it, but there's
Medieval times.
There's medieval times. Thank you. There's a lot of interesting things happening in Arlington and its surrounds, i.e. Dallas. Is that Dallas? Is Dallas right?
Hmm?
Yeah, it's Dallas.
Yeah, it's next to Dallas.
We went to some steak place. I
Fort
remember
Worth.
we went to some steak place where you don't even get plates, man. You just get wrapped meat on a table. We don't get a table, you sit at the table, but you get wrapped meat. And you just unwrap it and eat it. That's it. It's crazy. Very caveman-like. Liquid have gone for a force buy. Did the Dren drop a weapon? Let me see. Can we see the money quickly? Oh, he's saving for an AWP, isn't he? Isn't he? The cheeky bugger. This allows me to eco next time Sleeper's force buy. There's this is my justification. Eco for AWP. All the time, every time. ATK in anti-eco territory. There's one smoke for Liquid. What is the ATK approach?
Well, the Suez control here. This is a classic little boost. Oh, can't quite reach there, Stewie. And to make that play, they'll understand it's 2, so they won't be able to punish it in time. Oh, Nate comes in, that's massive damage done. So have the integrity of the numbers. Okay, not anymore. Now, this is something I'm definitely not sure about for ATK. You don't want to be testing the waters so much like this that you give a scout time to get a couple tags like that. You need to keep your numbers alive, and oh no, the boost on the sandbags has taken away another player. Saw him lining up a heaven smoke, I believe, and it's going to go very wrong here. All of them go down for no kills. All the guns will be collected. ATK maybe losing some momentum in a huge pause, because I don't know, that felt a little bit sloppy from their ends.
It's nice it must feel nice for Liquid to win a round like that, because they've been subjected to those kind of losing those kind of rounds in this series of lazy kills.
I think this has happened at least. That's at least I think the 4th time in this series that the second round has been won by the team that lost the pistol, regardless of the side actually.
And here we go. Liquid are very well equipped. Nafly, interestingly, Adrenaline was saving for the AWP, but Nafly will use the scout. I don't know if Adrenaline was just saving to drop it to somebody else, or to use it himself. Either way, that is to be observed, and it is. ATK still in the lead, but things are not looking so good for them anymore. And these gold player stickers, they really rise in price pretty quickly. Cloud9 Boston stickers are mad expensive.
I'm a bit worried for ATK here, because Liquid are off to a really strong start here. Oh, twist. Look at this gun out in time. They can't get the kills. They've done some damage at least. Making the cross is going to be quite difficult. Stewie actually has a scout. Not an ideal weapon, but the cleanup is ready.
Elige has got the spray. Not many people do, but Elige has got the spray.
And it's going to be a full save now for ATK. And this is it. You know, this second round, like losing that second round after winning the pistol is devastating. And Stewie, I think the second pick on Floppy he's got free, just like running in. Do some sandbags before that. Like, look, I imagine how much information each time when you see Floppy like lining up a smoke. And that's when you get the kill.
Yeah, it's pretty good. 9-9. great many players seen in the mid position. Elige, and the connector rather. Elige will try to protect the weapon, it seems. Just comes with its own risk. Was he heard going down the stairs? Sonic will hold an angle. Elige will spot him. Some pre-fire, a smoke. Elige has cover on the high ground from a Dren for the time being. In fact, ATK will head towards the B-bomb site. But Twist is in short B, so options are limited, of course. This is a Glock run from what remains of ATK at the very least. So there is only so much to be achieved, excuse me, at this point.
Dream and you can achieve.
Or dream and you're having a dream. The rescue party is here just as Naf goes down to 2 HP. That's a very valuable 2 HP. That saves like 6 grand of money for Team Liquid. And it's still early days. Yes, they've won 3 in a row, but you can see the nature of those rounds after the force buy.
Isn't it so weird, James? Because like this is how it often will go. Because your economy gets so wrecked, you'll like win 3 in a row. But if you lose the pistol, and sorry, if you win the pistol and they're the ones that got the bomb down, they get that force buy, then they get. It is a very weird dynamic, isn't it? It is something that I hope that does get addressed, the Kriegs at least, and it's remove the frequency of this situation. But this puts a lot more pressure on this round for ATK because their lead is just evaporated now, and they are 1 round behind. They've got some Kriegs out, but their utility is really lacking at this point in the round, and they haven't got bathrooms yet. I feel like they just have to go into A through bathrooms right now. But Adren is there. He understands exactly how to play this. A frag, fall back, and another frag, fall back. Was it worth it?
It's so fun to AWP on Overpass. It is really enjoyable. One of the more enjoyable maps to AWP on. ATK now have 3 remaining. Stewie having a look. Not giving any sound cues. Got to be careful with this position. The door should open inside of him sitting there. Is that to his advantage? Got to be real careful. Oh boy, that's a blue. Big damage done. Stewie will fall though. Twist has some time to buy, but he will fall trying to drop a flashbang. Not expecting a second player after killing the first one in that monster smoke. Elige doesn't have to spray this time. Somehow this might just work out for ATK.
So it's huge. What an opportunity. Naf's going to spot one. The spray will reveal his position, which is a pretty big deal. They don't have any utility. And Naf, speaking of which, does have 1 flashbang. He's going to make his way forwards. And there's the shoulder peeking. And I don't know how they pulled that one off. But was that a 2 versus...
I think it was a 3
versus 5? It was 3 versus 5, I think.
Well,
no, it was actually 2 versus... Hang on. So 2 people die here. That's 3. They kill a Dren. It's a 3 versus 4. There we go. Got there in the end. 3 versus 4, but it was all OC and all JT. Really well played in this one. And what an important round to pick up. And again, can't really look what it's done firstly to the economy of Liquid, and then also the lack of utility that they had to make that round work was kind of severe.
Yeah, so, I feel like we've seen a few unlikely rounds, if you will, won, and they've mostly gone to ATK, from what I can remember. Elige shoots the flashbang and down he goes. Chewie has an AWP looking towards long. There's no challenge just yet. ATK heading towards party, but surely somebody will check long. It's just being watched by JT with a Krieg and the bomb. Now, who looks for information for Liquid? How long does Stewie just wait in that long position and he starts moving inside the toilets? This is a nice angle. There's some shadow warning. 4T's moving into this angle, and here comes the flash. And now he's somewhat trapped. Now there's an interesting challenge. The support is on the way. There's a nice angle towards the rocks. He has a look, but not time to scope in. OC's ready for the trade. Off-angle boost from Twist. He looks up. Nice headshot from him. He's so dangerous with a CZ. But they won't go too deep. They won't try to retrieve the AWP. Falling back as ATK quickly head towards the B-bomb site.
There's not much firepower going on over here, though, so should be good to go. Convert this. How much damage can Adren really do? Ooh, able to get... Oh my, no. Oh my god.
Twist with the CZ band. We've seen it before. What? We've seen 1v4s with the CZ on a cobble, remember?
What? You know, Inferno as well, but but still, like, they had so much utility. They had a 3 versus 3. The T's weren't even, they were all facing at once, and Twist just annihilates them.
Twist in the CZ, bro.
It's really interesting because when you, it's almost like shooting with an M4A1, like the way that you should shoot a CZ at those ranges. It's like just two bullets, trying to be super accurate, jiggling.
The resets continue. He's trying to avert crisis now. How many duels do you want to take now, Fly? You're really exposed here, way too deep, especially with the warning from Elysian. Once again, 1-for-1 versus a bunch of pistols. It's just not enough. And again, another 1-for-1. Why does this keep happening? Sonic and JT remain, and again they're up against Adren. He gets the transfer, he gets the 3K. And maybe now Liquid can stabilize. It's just so bizarre, isn't it? They got the rifles versus pistols, but they're engaging, maybe not choosing to, but they're at a point of no return where the numbers, the trade game is so high, the chances of it are so high, and it keeps happening.
Yeah, it's definitely a bizarre situation. Both teams spending all their money really as well here, more or less. Obviously they've got a little bit in the hole, but ultimately this is it's a really critical round in terms of economy control. Oh, missing the molly there. Although the second one landed. And ATK won't be delayed too much. Now where are the edges going to be found here? Because Liquid are not playing too aggressively, so it might be that ATK have to really just push for an early kill.
Old school.
There's a flashbang, just taking control of Divider. But there's a player in the bathrooms, and it's very strong playing the AWP in some of those angles.
The smokes begin. Let's note there are 3 smoke grenades remaining for Liquid. Now, the usual setup, but Adren, is he going to walk deep? You can see the T's are waiting for a peek. Now, Liquid know how to break this setup. We've seen him do it against Avangard. I've made the video of them actually breaking this exact setup and isolating the 2 players. But ATK may not have that in the bag. 43 seconds, and 2 more smokes remain. There's a little jiggle. Adren falls back. There's Elige to swing. Elige with 2. Does he find 3? The transfer is looking good, but Floppy will trade. A wallbang attempt from Adren as he falls back. 25 seconds now to plant the bomb. He will be the initial engager. He's got truck support as well. There's a flank coming in through connector from Stewie, so there's nowhere to plant the bomb. Adren announced his position. There's Stewie from the back, and it all falls to pieces. That was a big buy from ATK. It has failed. 4 players surviving for Team Liquid. And ATK have $3,000 per person.
Yeah, and as soon as Elige got the engagement there, and they realized they kind of had that inkling about the A play, already the rotation was coming through connector at that point. So Liquid had a lot of control on the map, and ATK, it's they're on the struggle bus right now. Liquid 3 away from qualifying to LAN, the ECS Season 8 Finals in Arlington, Texas, in around a month's time, or something.
Or something.
Something like that. About a month.
It's around a month's time.
Yeah.
Or 5 weeks. Okay, can't go 1-for-1. Can't go 1-for-1. Twist goes back to the well. Sees more flashes. Dead. Stewie now in a tight spot. Waiting for the smoke push. There it is. Is he going to... No. What is going on? Why does this keep happening? 2 Greeks now in the hands of ATK. There's just no consistency in these rounds. The bomb falls through the smoke. Now fly fishing. Taking some bullets. Needs to reload. He needs help. 2 on 2. Those are taken out, down to the pistol, down to the 1 versus 1. Sonic spraying versus the AWP of Elige. 18 HP, so no, he's low, he sees the arm, and they've won a round with pistols. There's no consistency in these rounds. The people that David keeps beating Goliath.
I don't understand what's going on here. This is really, really odd. It feels like everybody's fatigued, you know? Everyone's like very fatigued. Strange stuff.
Very amazing smokes.
Amazing play from Sonic there in this round, and just finding that angle beautiful. He got the 4K. That's insane. That's some impact. That's basically all the kills he's made this half so far was in that one round, and what a round it was. And it's a round in which Liquid's economy is going to be stretched to the right to the end of the line, and ATK need to capitalize. They need to win this round. If they want to win this game, I really think that they have to find a way to win this round, because otherwise, you know, Liquid get to 14, ATK have no money again, and it's downhill from there. So, otherwise, if ATK win this, go to 12, Liquid can't buy, ATK go to 13. all of a sudden they put themselves in a position with economy control and a tied up game. So they need to win this round.
If ATK win this round, I think Liquid's next fight is going to be rubbish.
Wow.
Ooh, Floppy and 10 HP. Adren can hear a T in the water. OTM maybe looking for a boost. Dewey, this is like Cloud9's Dewey mode. Let me make a difference with the AWP. Spotting a player by the party. ATK looking for info. There's a molly to force MOTM forward. He takes one with him though. 4 versus 4. And Twist wants to go back, swinging wide and takes out Sonic. This is where the individual skill comes into play for Team Liquid, overwhelming their opponent. It would make no sense for Twist to do that, which is why he does it, because he expects to deliver the kill, and he does. Man advantage is gained. A smoke towards long to deny information for Liquid. There's plenty of time for ATK. They will hear the scope on the A-bomb site. They know the AWP is there. They have 3 Molotovs.
A scary situation. Floppy, 10 HP, has the bomb. He's going in first with the bomb. Let's see what happens. Bomb's now down on the ground as JT looks to find something. He'll get a trade, but he's the last man standing. 3 more players to take down. He's got 20 seconds to do it. And he can't find the kill to Elige. And that's the very critical round won by Team Liquid instead. ATK, they don't... If they had a bomb plant in that last round, they would have had a buy here, but...
Well, they still...
I mean, they force it up. I think they probably have to force up twice. We'll see what they decide to do. Yeah, they go for it. I think that makes the most sense.
When Stewie re-peeked from the truck with the AWP, I thought the round was going to collapse again for Team Liquid somehow. And hey, even in these rounds, I mean, this is a pretty reasonable buy, all things considered. ATK, I don't think they've won a consecutive round in this half yet.
No.
They've won a round, and then Liquid have won 3 rounds.
The critical one was when they lost against the straight up pistols, but Twist gets all the CZ kills. That was the one that really broke them. Or that they should have taken, I suppose. And, this is gonna be difficult. We got some forward setups here from Liquid around bathrooms and long. That means the Liquid are ready to pounce on the ball. I think if they're meant to shoot there, but Elige gets both kills. Oh no, they just collapsed on top of ATK. They've been completely slaughtered towards A. And that's not really all that much Sonic can do reasonably. Got the AK. What do you do in this situation if you're Sonic? It's so hard.
Yeah, you kind of need to keep the AK because your loss bonus is what, 2nd round loss bonus or 3rd round loss bonus? They're not going to have money to buy an AK. Essentially, if he loses his AK, he's not buying another one. So he needs to hold on to this. Stewie is creeping. Max range as well. Stewie falls back. They will take nothing into the round. $3,000. Here we go. Let's get hype. At least a Liquid, guys. But yeah, there was nothing he could do but try to hold on to his AK. And now he doesn't have it. And this might be the round. This might be the straw that breaks the back of ATK. But we've seen them win rounds of less, to be honest. What will Liquid expect? Will they go and bolster the B bomb site and expect a fast play over there? Is it too obvious? Will that be suggested by ATK? Well, they're going super deep on A, but they do have 3 players towards that B bomb site. A Molotov, a boost, Stewie's ready for the swing, and there's no one else to be engaged. Players outside Monster. Molotovs being deployed. ATK lining up some grenades, maybe some... Oh, they've got no HEs for the sandbags position, so just a fast execute into the B bomb site. In fact, Elige's rotated. No, he's at the back of A. Oh no, that's not helpful. Just look at some of these grenades. They start to move in, but there are 3 CTs waiting.
It's going to be really rough. They're already a man down, and some of the nades not being deployed. And that's a wrap, 16-11. Congratulations to Team Liquid. They have made it, qualifying for the finals of ECS Season 8.
And Dan, these highlights are brought to you by NVIDIA. Well, it looks like Liquid parted the Red Sea. It was a fantastic effort from ATK. I think all week they looked promising. I thought they were going to win. I actually expected them to win. It was a perfect storm with Nitro not able to play, but Adren more than delivered more than you could expect for sure. He played his part, some nice warping here on the final map as well. You saw Stewie and Twist turned on when they needed to. And that shows you the power of Team Liquid. When the individuals need to find that extra gear, they've got more than one player who can do that. And let's not forget Elysian Buzzwallis as well. Some very key fragging positions from Liquid in that last half.
Yeah, ATK did an amazing job in this series. I think they obviously will be disappointed, but equally, even though Liquid were playing with a stand-in, ATK could be proud of themselves because Adren looked really good. He was playing great Counter-Strike, and although, again, Liquid had to kind of adopt some new roles, like Stewie pulling out the Orb and so on, it was still, Liquid still was playing some good, great Counter-Strike and some strong, and we saw strong stuff. And ATK, you know, threw a bunch of wrenches into the works in creative ways that were impressive, and this is one of those up-and-coming teams where, you know, it's not just that I see potential, they realized a lot of potential here, and I see that there's only more like that coming in their future, so that's amazing.
Yeah, just like we saw promise from United way back when, we see similar promise from ATK, and maybe more so. A great run from them. Again, thank you to the patience of the people watching, and also for the players for being patient with that error. A rare thing which will be sorted out, I'm sure. Liquid make it to the finals. They join Sharks and Evil Geniuses, and maybe they can get revenge on Sharks for getting smashed by them in previous weeks. Those three will be going to the finals, but who will be joining them? There's one more week of action to come. That week starts next Monday to see the last European team and the last North American team to go to land in Arlington. Thank you guys for your patience as well. Before we go, there's a Hyper X Factor play of the game, so let's have a look and see what the X Factor is.
I actually have no idea what the guys at the back could have selected for this. Oh, okay, this was ATK winning the first round. This is the Kree buy, and it looked like it was going to go ATK's way, and then Twist came into play.
HyperX X Factor play of the day goes to Monsieur Twist. And this is an honourable mention as well with the CZ. He really does love lighting up the server with a CZ. So many important rounds like that one for both teams, but again, ultimately, Liquid will just about get there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, on the FACEIT platform, type ECS into the search bar. There are cups you can play. If you don't have a full team to play, then that's fine. Last half an hour, you can check in with yourself or with the party you're in, and you'll be paired with other people who also need to party up. Thank you very much for tuning in. Add me on FACEIT, JZFB. We will see you on Monday for the final week of the online season, Europe and North America. It'll all come to a close as we head to Arlington, Texas in late November. We will see you on Monday. Cheers and goodbye for now.